couple months ago, I 3D printed this modular magnetic exhaust. Since then, I've been doing a bit of soldering. Now, I thought this would work great for soldering, but having magnets really close to where you're soldering, and then the size of it actually is kind of frustrating. But anyway, in today's video, I'm going to be working on making a soldering attachment to make soldering easier. Let's get started. And we're done. What my design thoughts were when I was designing this was I wanted it to work with the old exhaust. So I got this here, which you can put the magnets on so it can magnetically connect. I wanted it to be bendy, so I made a bunch of joints. They all kind of click together. I haven't tested it yet, so I don't really know if it's gonna actually work. And then at the very end, I have an adapter, so you can click on different attachments. So my initial test piece fits together easy, but it's almost too easy. It's pretty loose. So I went into the software and I decreased the gap between the inner and the outer shell. And so hopefully that makes it a little tighter of a fit, because you do want it to hold the position you put it in. Let's grab this guy and give her a go. Pop her on. Oh my God, that's perfect. So let's see if this is any better. It's tighter. And just to get rid of the burrs, so we can see in concept, you can bend it, but then it just kind of, I guess I gotta make it tighter. After a few failed designs, I finally got the tolerance right, so now it holds whatever position I want to put it in. This here's the hood attachment. So the idea here is that you put this above wherever you're printing, and then you're able to capture those fumes and suck it up. This here is the regular nozzle attachment. It's designed, it can go ahead and just go in, and you can place it wherever you need and just can suck in the gas, you know? This here is what I call the precision nozzle attachment. So it's a little tiny hole, tiny, 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 smaller than my finger. This one here can go in, you stick it right in there, and it'll get little sucking. One thing with this, I couldn't seem to print the cone. My printer, I tried so many times, my printer can't seem to print cones. Finally, we have the fan attachment. This is the one I'm most excited to try out. So the idea I was thinking here is you can place it alongside a circuit board where maybe you're soldering a bunch of stuff, and they'll suck in like a fan of air, I guess. Just suck it right in. One last thing left to do. Pop on some magnets, plug it in, and test it out. That worked great, but I think we can do better. First off, this flat part here, sucks. Well, it doesn't suck. That's probably the problem. So I really want to make that tapered. This nozzle by far worked the best. So we're going to keep it. But these two guys just look cool, especially the fan looks so good. But really, it's just a piece of garbage, so I'll get rid of that. Finally, the hood. So the hood, it looks great. I loved how it just kind of was lean. It sat over top of everything. But I was losing a lot of suction around the edges here near the tip. So I need to bring it down a bit and maybe change the design a bit. I also forgot how when you had this thing on there, it kept just tipping over. So I'm going to design a stand as well to hold it from tipping over. Let's get to it. While Googling different exhaust designs, I came across these notes and I read through it, and I think I'm going to change the nozzle design as well. And we're back. So what we got here is we got the old exhaust and the new exhaust. The old exhaust was slim and open. The new exhaust is using a slot to try and get the airflow, and it has a lot bigger of a hood on it. Then we got the two new tips, just because I read that article and it said that if I added a flange, it would do better. These two are identical, just one's green, one's blue. This here is the cone. So this one had a flat, and this one has a cone. This should increase airflow. Finally, we got the stands. We got a freestanding one and we got a screw-in one. Over here, I got a rig set up where I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to light up a bit of smoke. I got a bit of measuring tape, and we're just plug in the different, the two nozzles and the hoods and see what we get. After my last smoke test, someone recommended that I try some incense sticks. And so here we go. We have blossom, musk, cherries, lotus, and orange. Feeling a little musky today. Want to smell a bit of Elon. Okay, let's get this set up. The green nozzles seem to have a more consistent airflow than the blue, but I don't really know if it was that much more efficient. Whereas with the hood, the green hood was a lot more consistent sucking power throughout the whole range of the hood, whereas the blue one really had kind of a path down the middle that could do its best sucking from. But the best was just not to have it at all and have a big, huge gaping hole. Before you go, I had a really great idea thanks to Unnecessary Inventions. Working on 3D printer enclosures can get a little toasty. So what I'm thinking is we flip this fan around and we take Unnecessary Inventions Bronco's Jewel Cooler and bring it to the 3D printer room. Just give it a little bend up